In 2020, a PCA member gifted this beautiful 1990 964. Now, it wasn't in this condition when we received it, but over the past year and a half or so, we've kind of gone through the car, gotten it kind of freshened. We did a light paint correction to it. We went through the motor, got it running again, but now it's time to transform the car. You may have seen this at Works Reunion Amelia. You may have seen it at Porsche Parade. This is Project 964. Be sure to log into your YouTube account, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. Best of all, it's free to do so. Now, Manny, what are we going to do with Project 964?
Well, you know, we took a vote. Throughout the year, we asked people, do you want keep it stock, turn it into an RS, or turn it into a Safari?
What one?
The voting was tight, but the RS build won.
Oh, okay.
We're listening to the people who voted. We're going to turn it to an RS, nothing that can't be unbolted and returned back to stock, because this is a 36,000 original model example. We did fix the credit to Europros in Gaithersburg, Maryland. They fixed a little rust spot and blended the paint in perfectly. They were able to make it all look stock, so luckily that was the only rust spot on the entire car. It did sit outside for a long time, but it hasn't really shown it. So we're going to change the seats, we're going to change the wheels, we're going to change the suspension, steering wheel. Throughout the year, you're going to see these changes, and hopefully you'll see the first iteration at Amelia Allen Works Reunion.
And that was the whole point for the gentleman that donated the car, or gifted the car to PCA, is he loves all the different shows that we do, and he wanted us to create technical content with this vehicle. So, like I said, some of you may have seen this car over the past year and a half or so, but we're just kind of bringing it back to the forefront and letting you know we're really going to start working on this. We've already started with putting in a classic radio. We've replaced, as Manny mentioned, fixed the rust on the windshield. We put new door speakers in, the classic radio speaker set in the back. On and on is going to go more. But we got this big box that came into the office, and we thought, why not start with an unboxing? And who's it from?
It's from our friends at Recaro. They heard what we were doing, and they wanted to be part of it. So we talked about what would fit best in this car and look best, and they recommended the pole position, which to me makes sense because the original Cup cars and RSs had SPGs, which is the cousin to the pole position, a little bit more narrow. This is a little bit wider, so it will fit more people. And very period correct.
Very well packed. Oh my, now this is a pattern that I wasn't expecting. Now
Yeah,
we often see, like in the 50th anniversary 911 and so a lot of cars lately, you've seen the Pepita pattern or houndstooth, but this is not it. I like how it kind of picks up the red of the 964. What pattern is this?
Go! It's a very cool pattern.
It's a very cool. All right, let me do that part.
I have no idea.
Okay. So I'm surprised to see this pattern because a lot of cars nowadays you see the houndstooth or Pepita. Is this something that we custom did, or is this available from Recaro?
Something you can actually order directly from Recaro. They give you choices of different patterns, and yeah, I agree. This has some coloring of the car. We have a tan interior, red exterior, so I think it's going to match really well. I love the fact that this is not cloth like it is on the race seats, so this is going to wear a lot better than the race seats will.
Nice, nice.
And it has a room for the submarine belt, so you can put a 5 or 6 point harness if you want. And if you want to take it to the track, this is going to be incredibly supportive. And I can tell you, they're very comfortable. They may not look it, but they are very comfortable. I've driven to Denver in my 964 of these seats, and I was fresh as a daisy.
Yeah, the thing about these seats is climbing in and out of them might be a little bit of a chore if you're not used to it, but once you're in them, they're the most comfortable ever. And what I like about these is, for those of you that might enjoy a cheeseburger or so, or get your seats greasy, all this stuff comes apart and you can replace them. So these all come off with Velcro. And then also if you happen to tear or wear these pieces, if you look at the bottom, you can actually unsnap the tension cables and then you can replace everything. So you're never kind of stuck with an old seat. You can always rejuvenate them. And yeah, I think the color is going to be awesome. Now, the interior of the 964 now is tan interior.
Right.
We'll replace the front seats with this. What are we going to do with the back seats?
Well, we actually bought some extra material from Recaro, And we bought another set of rear seats because we want to keep the originals original. And so we're going to have the rear seats upholstered as well. And they're going to be a nice matching pair. We had thought about doing a rear seat Elite, but in keeping with the Touring RS theme, we decided to keep the rear seats and just make them look a little nicer.
I especially like these types of seats because they're very simple, very light. Four bolts or so and a couple of connectors. The OEM seats will pop out, and we have the mounts, the side mounts for these.
Yeah, luckily they actually right in front of us is all the mounting hardware they sent, Recaro sent. They're very helpful. You just tell them what kind of car you're going to put it in, and they know exactly which mounts to send you.
Perfect, and it's super easy to install. Again, you'll have the 4 bolts that bolt to the bottom of the car, and then you have 2 bolts on each side, and you can actually choose the rake and how it leans with the side mounts. Very cool. So we are also choosing today to let you know another project on the car that we're going to be working on, and that has to do with the suspension.
Yeah, so our friends at KW, which is a well-known brand, they also wanted to help us out. They love the idea of Project 964. So we asked them, we told them we wanted a car that was really going to be for the street. Maybe the occasional track day, but 90% of the time, this was going to be a street car that we wanted with a more RS type of feel to it. So they recommended the V3, the street version. And so the street version doesn't have a complicated adjustment mechanism. It's pretty much, install and go.
Nice.
A little bit of adjustment on the bottom.
Adjustments here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right down
Adjustable
here.
perches.
I'll coil over.
And 2 springs per corner. So you have the helper
Yeah,
one
helper spring.
for ride quality,
Yep.
right? And it looks to be pretty straightforward to install.
Yeah, it's. I think it's gonna change the stance of the C4. It'll make it more aggressive, but it's not going to knock your fillings out when you're riding down the street.
Very good. And what's the goal of getting this car done?
Ideally, we want to have it ready to go, and maybe whatever the executive council is going to do with it by Rennsport Reunion.
Okay.
But at Amelia Island Works Reunion, you're going to be able to see this car, hopefully with also the wheels. And HRE Wheels is building us a special set of wheels that they just come out with that will look phenomenal in this car, 18-inch wheels. So until then, we'll put the suspension on, the seats, and maybe some other goodies.
And each step of the way, we're going to be recording supporting videos for it. Seat install, stereo install, suspension install, throwing on the wheels. It's going to be a lot of content for you guys to enjoy, so stay tuned.